So you guys may or may not remember what happened to me my very first trip to the drag strip in the E36 Turbo LS swap. So I'm going to break it down for you here.
That's it. We're done.
So if we take a close look at the launch, it squatted okay and then just came right back up and then kept on bouncing back and forth on itself. That's what I think snapped the drive shaft. Let's look at the carnage.
All right, back home, up on the lift, our quick jacks. Let's see the extent of the carnage. Pretty rough. Let's see, zoom out. Let's get a good idea here. This is what we saw when we kind of quickly looked underneath the car, that it was sheared off there. Right up here it's sheared. And we're gonna have to get a new U-joint replaced on it, as you can see here. It snapped off right, those there and the other side completely snapped off. So we're gonna need a new U-joint and a yoke. That's a piece from New Age Hot Rods, part of the drive shaft that we got. So we're gonna need to get a new one of those, and we'll take it from there. I'm gonna try to turn the diff to see if I hear any clunking outside of it hitting that, and let's try to do that. I feel like the culprit was more wheel hop than it was me absolutely sending it. The diff seems to be rotating with ease. Just got to get a new yoke and a new four-way joint or whatever this is, universal joint. Definitely need a new one of those. The pieces of it fell on the track and they gave it to me as a souvenir. But that's what it's going to need. Not the end of the world. We'll get out to New Age Hot Rods and get a new piece for this and put it back together. And we will have to try to figure out something with the suspension as to why it was wheel hopping like that. It never did that before. So maybe it's time to get rid of the eBay shocks that came on the car and get some Viking dual adjustables. I think that might help out.
If you're looking for a great way to support the channel, check out lowboostfilms.com. We got a bunch of different merch and tools, and if you go on there and use coupon code BANANA before November 28th, you'll get 15% off everything we sell. Make sure to check us out. And happy Thanksgiving.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about what happened for a second there. So if you're watching that slow motion video, the wheel compressed, the tires compressed itself up, but instead of squatting and taking off, there was wheel hop. The subframe started moving up and down, and that rapid gyration, for lack of a better word, is what snapped the drive shaft off. These are in the back here. I have cheap eBay springs and eBay coilovers. It's what was on the car when I got it. Never bothered to upgrade it because on the street it never really mattered. But what we're gonna do over the winter here is we're gonna get some Viking dual adjustable shocks that will help with the rebound to avoid getting wheel hop, because wheel hop is a 60-foot killer, and amongst other things, drive shaft killer in my case. So dual adjustable shocks will help dampen the rebound going back and forth, not just the shock this way, but this way. So that will be better for us. We're also gonna get softer springs in the back, and I might take out the sway bar just so this thing squats a little bit better. But I think if we do that, we could cut a decent 60-foot and get a 10-second quarter mile. So stay tuned. We're going to do a lot of this stuff over the winter. So the old drive shaft was not salvageable, so I had to have a whole new one made. And we changed it up a little bit with this one that we had made. We're still using the old New Age Hot Rods yoke, but the drive shaft shop that I get it done at Universal Auto Parts in Albany suggested a greaseless U-joint, and I guess they're a little bit stronger. We gonna find out. Back, I think. We'll find out later. Taking it out though.
So, I took it for a little rip, but I didn't do any launches with it because I don't want to be dealing with any more wheel hop issues, and without doing it on a prep track, there's no way to replicate and see that it's going to work. Plus, I got to get the right suspension setup for this thing if I really want to start hammering this thing down from a dig, which I do want to do at some point. I love rowing gears. I already know in the comments, you're going to tell me, I know, automatic would be so much faster, blah, 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 blah. I don't care. I just don't care. I love rowing gears. This car is a blast to drive. It's the perfect blend of American muscle with a turbocharger, but it still drives like a BMW. It's a GMW. That's why I love it. If you guys want to see more videos on this car and you can't wait for me to upload a new one, I have like 60 other episodes on the entire build series. You guys can go watch it right now. I'll put a link to it right here. I'll catch you in the next one.